Audible. Yeah, you are audible, Shreya.
Okay.
What about me?
So welcome everyone. I'll just introduce today. So we are joined by Mr. Muralidharan sir, who is the legal expert in EHL laws in Aparajitha, with deep experience in labor law compliance, statutory audits, and HR legal operation. He will guide us today through the latest changes and how they bring easier compliances, monetary benefits, and opportunity for the regularizing past liabilities under both the acts. I would request everyone to post your questions at the end of the session, or you all can drop down in the chat. Thank you. Uh, Sir, you can start with the session.
Yeah, thank you, Shreya. Thanks for the brief introduction. Am I audible to everyone?
Yes, sir, audible.
Thank you so much. Very good afternoon to the participants.
Is it possible that you can be a bit loud and take the laptop a bit nearer?
Is it better now?
Yes, sir, better.
Okay, very good afternoon to everyone. Today we shall just discuss about the recent updates, both from ESI as well as EPF. I think there is some noise, low sound. Once again, let me check on the for the audio issue. Case. Is it better now?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Today, we will briefly touch upon the ESA as well as EPF recent updates, predominantly on the amnesty scheme introduced by both the department. That is, both EPF as well as ESA, they have introduced amnesty scheme for the benefit of employers as well as for the employees. So let us briefly touch upon that, and thereafter we shall also go about talk about the recent updates on the PF. Let me know if the screen is visible to everyone. The slides are visible.
एक minute. Hello? Yes, sir, it is visible.
Is it getting changed? The slide change is happening?
Yes, yes, it is happening, sir.
Fine. Okay. As I had already told you, we shall first initially discuss about
Sir,
the.
if you want, you can put this on a screen share mode so that it is bigger size and we can see the main screen.
It is on the screen share mode only.
No, we can see the other slides option also.
1
So
second.
there's the fourth option, no? Yeah.
1 second. 1 second. 1 second. Is it better now?
Yes, yes, sir. Perfect.
Okay, right. So ESI has introduced the scheme to promote registration of employers and employees. This is a one-time opportunity for the employers who have by any chance not registered their establishment under the ESI scheme, or failed to register their employees, eligible employees under the ESI. So this is a one-time opportunity. It is normally, it is not, we don't get quite often. So this, let us avail this opportunity because this is a one-time offer which will be valid till 31st December. So that is the reason I have taken up this first, because now we are already in the month of November and fag end of November. So we are left with another 1 month time. So any employer or any employer who has not registered their establishment, or if they have failed to register their eligible employees under the ESI scheme, this is one of the golden opportunity for them to register, and whatever date you declare as a date of registration, that will be considered as the date of coverage, and there shall not be any penalty for the backdated dues. This is one of the finest aspect of this scheme. So what are the key highlights of it is when 10 or more employees can register the 10 or more, establishment which has 10 or more employees can register a unit through either Samshuddha portal or through ESIC portal. There is a provision given. And the very highlight is the date of registration declared by the employer will be accepted as the final date for both the employer and the employees. And as you know, that online registration facility is available through ESIC portal and Samshuddha portal, and also through Ministry of Corporate Affairs portal. So this window is open, as I had already told you, one-time registration window is open till 31st December from July 1st onwards. So it is an unprecedented opportunity for all eligible employers as well as eligible employees to opt for the scheme and come out clean. Actually, there shall not be any retrospective penal provisions will be invoked. And this dispute resolution framework will be valid till October 31st, I mean, till 30th September 2026. So in case there are cases pending, 45A or 45AA, or there are any appeals, or if there are certain cases which are pending with ESIC court. So all these things can be, you can just opt for the scheme and come out clean. So that's what I said. It is a unique opportunity to regularize all your past liability without any retrospective liabilities. And by doing so, you will also extend the benefit to the employees who are eligible employees who are otherwise eligible should have been covered under the ESI, whereas for any reason you are not covered. Now, if you cover them, they can avail the benefits under the ESIC, like medical care, sickness, maternity benefit, disablement, temporary disablement, permanent disablement, all those. So how it is being streamlined is the digital registration. Employees can digitally register, as I had already told you, either through ESIC portal or Samshuddha portal or through MCA, Ministry of Corporate Affairs. And the date, whatever the date of registration, whatever you declare, that will be considered as the date of registration for the establishment and the date of coverage for that particular employee. No prior liability, so no contribution pertaining to the past period, you need not to pay anything. Similarly, there shall not be any action, no retrospective action. Employees are fully protected from inspection demands. So this is one of the unique opportunity provided to the employers and the employees. Please do avail this facility. So that's that is the reason I highlight eliminating the fear of retrospective penalties. So this is normally employers have this issue. Now this is an opportunity, you can just come clean. Previously, non-registration could attract severe legal action, and you know, most of the employees must be aware that in ESI, the liability is very huge actually, because pertaining to the past liability, in case there are employers who have failed to register their establishment or failed to register few employees and they did not cover them, then the contribution for those period, apart from that, there will be an interest, penal interest and damages. And the damages can go up to the 100% of the principal amount. So all these things now you can come out clean. This is one of the finest aspect. Please do avail. So no scrutiny of past records, no liability for past contribution, protection from action for earlier non-registration. So no demand for previous dues. Very, very important point. I thought this because within a period of 1 month, if you can register and extend the coverage to all the employees, eligible employees who are otherwise not covered, it will be beneficial. So why should employees register under spring 2025 is complete immunity from inspection of past records. This is not that I am just giving any information. It is from their ESIC portal I have just taken. So complete immunity from inspection of past records. And there will be zero contribution liability for the past period. So for the employees, yes, these are the benefits. Like once they are covered under ESIC scheme, I think you all must be able to appreciate. They'll be eligible for medical care right from day one, and cash benefit after a certain prescribed period, and the dependent benefits. Dependent benefits, including for the dependents, the medical care can be given right from day one onwards. Right. So this normally, why it is being asked, will there be any inspection or penalties for the past period? They have time and again reiterated that it is a purely voluntary hassle-free scheme. So you will be completely absolved of all past liabilities. So here that comes to an end of ESIC scheme. I think we have just briefly touched upon, although I had many slides, but the core idea is, in case there are establishments which were otherwise not covered, and the employees who are otherwise eligible should have been covered but not covered for any reason, it is an opportunity for you to register both establishment as well as the employees within a period of July 25 to 31st December. And if there are any liabilities, past cases pending with ESIC authority or 45A, section 45A or 45AA appeal, in case you have gone for an appeal, or if it is with pending with the tribunal or court. So all those things you can come off clean. That scheme will be effective from October 2025 to till September 2026. So let's briefly touch upon the PF aspect also. In PF also, they have brought in few changes. Before going into the amnesty scheme, they have brought in few changes like now withdrawal. Probably you all must be aware that now initially till date, till 13th October 2025, employees who leave their employment and remain unemployed for 2 months, they can withdraw their full amount. Now that is slightly, they have brought in some change. There is a minimum balance the employee is expected to keep. So maximum you can withdraw is only 75%, and that too if you remain unemployed for a period of minimum 1 year. So that kind of changes they have brought in. Partial withdrawal, the people were availing withdrawals, advances they were withdrawing. There were around 13 reasons you need to, for 13 occasions, you can apply for advances. Now that has been streamlined, that has been clubbed into only 3. One is essential, one is housing, another is the special needs. For such a reason, now only 3 scheme they have brought in. And the period also they have reduced. In case you have rendered 1 year of contributory service, second year onwards you can withdraw. You are eligible for withdrawal of your contribution. Earlier, the contribution what you can withdraw was only the employee share. Now both employee as well as the employer share also you can withdraw. This is one of the finest benefit. The only catch is you have to maintain minimum 25% of the balance. And that would definitely add accrue interest. Now current rate is 8.25%. So that is you can opt for that. Similarly, in case if you want to withdraw the PF, initially it was 2 months if you remain unemployed, you are allowed to withdraw full amount. Now it is not so. Minimum 12 months you should be unemployed, remain unemployed. In that case, you can withdraw the amount. Similarly, EPS for pension, whatever pension amount we were having, there also they have brought in some change. Like minimum 3 years you remain unemployed, then only you can withdraw the amount. In case you are rendered less than 10 years of service. So these are the matrix they have brought in, the change they brought in. Partial withdrawal, earlier it was 13 complex provisions were there. Now it is only simplified into 3 broad categories. Essential includes your housing, medical, marriage, education, all those. Then housing, yes, there is no necessity for me to emphasize on that. And special circumstances, in case for any other reasons, you can opt for the withdrawal. The minimum service period, previously it was 1 to 7 years, depending upon the purpose. Now they have standardized to only 12 months for all types. Initially, full withdrawal was allowed after 2 months of employment. There they have brought in some cap, 75% after job loss, and the remaining 25% only you can withdraw after completion of 1 year of remaining unemployed. Similarly, for EPS withdrawal, earlier it was if you remain unemployed for 2 months and your service is less than 10 years, you can withdraw the whatever amount you had in your EPS account. Now that minimum you should remain unemployed for 36 months, 3 years, provided your service is less than 10 years. In that case only you can withdraw the full amount held in your EPS account. Earlier that minimum balance concept was not available. Now they have brought in, so that because so since it is a social security scheme, they expect the employees to have some amount in their account. That is the reason they have mentioned that you are asked to retain minimum 25% of the total balance in the account. That will definitely add interest. Currently, this auto settlement, there was a cap was there up to 1 lakh. It was done. Now they have increased to 5 lakhs. And that in case you opt for the settlement, within 72 hours, that should be the auto settlement will happen. So these are the changes. This is just I have made a comparison statement, how it was the old one and now it is, what is the new rule mandates. So predominantly these 13 complex provisions have been clubbed into 3: essential, housing, and special circumstances. Earlier you were allowed to withdraw 100%. Now it is only you are allowed to withdraw 75%. And EPS, as I had already told you, it is minimum you should remain unemployed for 3 years. So these things they have brought in. The rest all, I think now that you know, there is in passbook, you must have seen there is a light that produced a mini statement also, mini account statement with a simplified access. And the claim status can be tracked both through EPF portal as well as through the Umang app. And the settlement time also they have reduced considerably from 2 months to 1 month now, if provided your UAN or this Aadhaar and Aadhaar is seeded in the EPF account. Earlier for withdrawal, you were asked to furnish many documents. Now there is nothing. Actually, they rely on you. So simplified self-declaration by the employee, by the member himself. And in case of marriage, then probably you may have to produce a marriage certificate. They have EPF also have introduced a new scheme, employees enrollment scheme. That's what the amnesty scheme, as I had already told you, as like ESI, here also they have brought in a new scheme called employee enrollment scheme. This is yet another unique opportunity for the employer. In case an establishment was not covered from 2017 till date, they can go for coverage now. Whatever date you declare, that will be considered as the date of coverage. See, this scheme is effective just from this month onwards only. It will be from 1st November to April 30th, 2026. So please make use of this 6-month window opportunity for you to regularize your past liabilities again without facing any punitive action or severe penalties. Because here you need not to pay any interest. You will have to pay only damage of only flat 100 rupees. All establishments are coverable regardless of previous coverage status of pending inquiries under Section 7A. This is very, very important actually. There we saw now Under ESI, we saw under section 45A, in case there are certain proceedings are ongoing, or there are an appeal under 45AA, or there are cases pending with the tribunal or court. Here also a similar provision they have introduced in case there are ongoing inquiries there under section 7A. So this also you can come out clean. So enrolled employee who joined between 1st July 2017 to October 31st, 2025. In case there are employees who are to be necessarily covered under EPF, you for any reason you are not covered, please do avail this facility and extend the coverage to them. During those period, you should not have deducted any contribution from the employee. If you have not deducted any contribution and you have not registered that employee, today you can register him and extend the coverage from today onwards. What employees need to do is follow these essential steps. One is create UAN. Now you all must be aware by this time that yes, UAN is to be generated by the employee himself using the Umang app and face authentication technology method. So generate universal account number for eligible employees using the Umang app and begin remittance from the declared date. The date of declaration, whatever you declare, that will be considered as the date of coverage for such employee. And make your declaration exclusively through there is a separate window provided in the EPF portal. So exclusively through the EPF portal online with complete details linked to ECR, multiple declaration are not permitted. So very, very important. Whatever you declare, please be sure that what we are doing is correct. And the nominal, I told you the damages are very, very minimal now. You know that as like ESI, the EPF also has reduced the damages to 1%. Earlier there was a slab actually, probably you must be now, employees must be aware. Less than 2 months it was 5% and from 2 months to 4 months it was 10% and 4 months to 6 months it was 15% and above 6 months it was 25%. Now that they have rationalized to 1% per month. So that they have brought in as it is. In this case, in this employee enrollment campaign, they have reduced that contribution, that damages also, they have made it as a flat damage, 100 rupees. So in case you have not deducted any employee contribution, there is no necessity for you to contribute. So the employee share is totally waived. Only thing, employer share needs to be contributed from the date of joining. If not, okay, that is very, very important. Pay interest under section 7Q for the past period because that is very mandate because EPFO is obligated to pay the interest for the employee from the date of coverage. So definitely they cannot pay from their pocket. So they will be expecting you to pay. So whatever past period you have not made the complaints, for such period that will definitely attract interest, that is 12% per annum. So that you may have to pay. Only thing, the employee share of contribution in case you have not deducted, that is totally waived off. Once that is done, then thereafter it is a regular compliance only. Please continue your regular ongoing compliance for all declared employees from the date you have already made the declaration. So what is the campaign highlights and the important protection is notional damages. This is what we have declared. It is 100 rupees. Only thing you have to ensure that this period is it from sector to some 2017 to October 2025. The inquiry officers, this is again a very, very important thing. Inquiry officers will consider only your declaration made by employer. So there shall not be, they will believe your declaration. So when you do it, please do it judicially. Previously concluded cases already finalized under section 7A of the Act, para 26B are excluded from this campaign. In case those were finalized, in case if it is not finalized, you can avail this facility. The protection aspect of it is no suo motu action. The employees availing this benefit will not face complaints action for employees who are left in case there are establishments for any reason you are not covered and those employees have left. There will not be any action against you. But only catch is provided no deductions were made and retained by the employer. This cutoff date, as again being reiterated, it is from 1st July 2017 only. So if there are employees who are not covered previously, then probably for those people this scheme is not applicable. And penalty for false, this is again important point. Penalty for false declaration, penal action will be initiated against for employers for making fraudulent declaration. So take action now. This 6 months window is a golden opportunity for you. Please do avail in order to come out clean with the minimum penalty. EPFO has also introduced a new scheme, Pradhan Mantri Viksit Bharat Rozgar Yojana, to increase employment, to provide incentive to the employer as well as to the employee. Very, very important point actually, because they get additional incentive, both employee as well as employer. The Prime Minister's package is, the total outlay is 2 lakh crore actually. For youth beneficiaries, the target is 4.1 crore youth will be benefited by this scheme. That is what the expectation. So initially during the budget 2024 for 25, the Honorable Finance Minister has introduced, published 5 different schemes. Now that has boiled down to only 2 different schemes actually. ELI, earlier it was ELI, Employee Linked Incentive. Now they have reduced to it is Prime Minister Viksit Bharat Rozgar Yojana. One scheme for scheme A for employer and scheme B for the employees. So that way it is. Scheme A supporting the first time employees. In case an employee whose wages is less than a lakh, first time he was not covered under PF previously, and joining the workforce for the first time between August 2025 to July 31st, 2027. It is a 2 years window. So you will be eligible for 1 month wage of 15,000 maximum. That 15,000 also will be given in 2 different spells that we will come across. So what is the eligibility is, I told you, it is employee who is drawing wages less than a lakh gross salary. And the expected benefit, the target is 1.92 crore young people. Okay. Under this scheme, the employer will not receive anything, only employee. I am talking about scheme A. The first installment will be disbursed to the employee into his Aadhaar linked account, bank account, after 6 months of his continuous service. So once that employee joins your establishment first time, he should remain, if to avail the first installment, he should remain in employment for minimum period of 6 months. So that is a mandate. So after 6 months, 7,500 rupees maximum will be credited in this account. For the remaining 7,500 rupees, probably there is a scheme they have introduced, the financial literacy program. He has to undergo that course probably. That is again, it's online onto the portal. Once he clears that exam and remain employed in this establishment for another 6 months, that is total 12 months. If he is remain employed in that establishment, he will be eligible for the second installment also. So having said that, but whatever the benefit he will extend, he will receive is maximum 15,000, 1 month wage. So the registration period, as we have told, it is August 1st, 2025 to July 31st, 2027. Both dates inclusive. Now, condition is you should not have been a member under EPFO prior to 1st August 2025. Contribution received in EPF or exempted trust or first time anywhere it is, they will be eligible. Salary requirement, we have already told, it is 1 lakh maximum gross salary. If it is more than that, he is not eligible. Service duration minimum 6 months to get this first installment and another 6 months, 12 months. Not only 12 months, he should also get his, he should also undergo that financial literacy program offered by the EPFO. So once he completes that, then he will receive the second installment. One catch point is if an employee joins on or after 5th of a month, then his date of joining will be treated as next month. That is, the following month will be treated as the first completed wage month for the calculation purposes. Again, how the scheme works is, again, as like ESI, here also that the employee should be registered onto the portal, get his universal account number. Either take the help of employer or you can directly, but again, employer also will facilitate only because using FAT, face authentication technology only, he has to get his UAN through the Umang app. So employer can facilitate, employer can guide, but employee will be generating this UAN. Once UAN is generated, then he should remain in employment for minimum period of 6 months. His name should be there in the ECR to receive his first installment of incentive. That will be deposited directly into his Aadhaar seeded bank account through DBT. To avail the second installment, he has to undergo the financial literacy program. That is, the program is free. And once he clears that, then he will be eligible to receive the second installment also. That's about scheme A for the employee. For the employer also, there is an opportunity to get incentive. Here it is unlike EPF, unlike for employee it was only, it is capped maximum 15,000 only per employee. Here it is not so. Here for employer, he will be receiving benefit for 2 years. This is one of the finest aspect of this scheme. For employer, it is 2 years he will be getting. In case of manufacturing sector, they will be getting 3 years. No, 3 years. Four years, sorry. In case of manufacturing sector, it is 4 years, sorry. Right? This scheme provides some incentive to employees for generating additional employment across all sectors. So focus is on the manufacturing, but for all other establishments also it is, this benefit is available for a minimum period of 2 years. So available to all establishment, including exempt establishment across all sectors. Again, here also this wage cap is only 1 lakh. In case an employee you have taken, you have provided employment to an employee person whose wages is less than 1 lakh, he will be considered for eligible. He will be considered eligible for this scheme, and accordingly the employer can avail the benefit. The employer will receive maximum of 3,000 rupees. In case his salary is more 15,000 and more, in that case for 15,000 you will get 3,000 rupees per month. This is not an additional benefit to the employer. So employers receive maximum benefit of up to 3,000 rupees per additional employee. Very, very important aspect of it. Benefit duration, as we have already told, it is minimum for 2 years for all sectors and for 4 years in case of manufacturing sector. How manufacturing sector will be identified is through the classification, GST registration, through GST categorization, we will come to know. The window is again August 31st, 2025 to July 31st, 2027. What are the conditions? How the baseline is calculated? We'll just go through. Small employers, less than or equal to 50 employees, an establishment which has less than 50, then they are expected to hire minimum 2 additional employees above the baseline to get this benefit. And larger establishments with more than 50 employees must hire minimum 5 additional employees above the baseline to qualify for incentive, and there is no upper limit for additional employment. Whatever employment you provide, they will be eligible for this benefit. The only catch is they should not earn more than 1 lakh. How the baseline is calculated is, so registered before 1st August 2024. If there is an establishment which is already registered before 1st August 2024, then 12-month average number of employees will be taken. In case there is an establishment who is already covered under EPFO, so the preceding 12 months average will be taken, average number, that will be considered as a baseline. Similarly, an establishment which is covered after 1st August 2024, then it is from the date to July 2025. This average number will be taken. So there are establishments which is registered on or after 1st August 2025. Then baseline is fixed as 20 employees. How it is being disbursed? Incentive is paid every 6 months to employer. It is not unlike for employee. There also we saw now it is after first 6 months only the employee will be receiving the first installment. Here it will be given in half yearly. So whatever addition of employees you have, eligible employees, for corresponding to that you will receive the incentive. Incentive paid every 6 months to employers. In case if criteria are not met during the benefit period, no incentive for such month. So in case you have not increased the additional employment, then probably for that particular month you will not receive any incentive. Through this scheme, the target is they expect at least minimum 2.6 crore young people will be covered. In the employee scheme, we saw it was 1.92. Here, through this scheme, the expectation is 2.6 crore young people will be benefited through this scheme. The employer incentive structure, how it is being given is, in case an employee, you are providing an employment to a person whose salary is say only 10,000 rupees. In that case, you will be receiving only 1,000 rupees as an incentive. In case the employee whose wages is from 10,000 to 20,000, then you will be receiving only 2,000 towards incentive. And the salary of an employee is from 20,000 to 1 lakh, then you will be receiving 3,000 rupees per employee. This is a slab actually. So up to 10,000 it is 1,000, up to 20,000, 10,000 to 20,000 it is 2,000, above 20,000 to 1 lakh it is 3,000 rupees. Then how the employer can avail this benefit? Again, in case you have not registered the establishment, please do register and get your EPFO code number, either through Samsvida portal or through MCA. Register for incentive, you have to update your PAN, GST number, and PAN linked bank account details of your establishment in the employer login portal on the EPFO website. Hire eligible workers, recruit first-time employees or rejoiners with gross wages up to 1 lakh. This is another important point. Even rejoiners also eligible actually with the gross wages up to 1 lakh per month to qualify for scheme benefits. file monthly returns regularly, submit electronic challan with all required contribution on time every month without fail. In case you fail to meet the deadline or remit contribution within 15th of subsequent month, probably you will not be eligible to receive the benefit for that particular month. And sustain, employment sustain is very key factor in this. Maintain additional hires above your baseline for minimum 6 months. In case you have not retained that strength, probably you will not be, because as I had already told you, this disbursement will happen only once in 6 months. So if they don't remain in employment for minimum 6 months, the employment sustenance is not maintained, then probably you will be deprived of that benefit. So I think we have covered by and large all the recent updates. Apart from that, they have also introduced a new scheme actually for the pensioners. In case there are pensioners, they cannot give life certificate. Then for them at their doorstep, the postman will go and collect the digital life certificate using the app, and for which 50 rupees is EPF will pay. The pensioner need not to pay anything. So that's about this few updates. The forum is open. In case you have any queries, please do ask.
So, we are already having few questions in the chat box.
Okay. Can you read out or
Yes. So the first question was, while registration is there, any other option mentioned to register under spree scheme?
there is no other registration. In case an establishment or has failed to register their register their establishment under the ESI scheme. They are talking about the scheme, no? Spree.
Yes, spree
Correct.
scheme.
So that is about ESI. In case an establishment failed to register, see, I know you all must be aware that ESI Act is applicable to an establishment in case you have 10 or more employees, immaterial of their salary. Okay. So in case they have not registered, using this opportunity, they can register. There are 3 provisions are given, either through ESIC portal or through Samsvida portal or through Ministry of Corporate Affairs. Using this, any of these options, they can register themselves.
Okay. This question I'll take. Is there any official gadget released by Government of India about EPDO new rule?
EPDO, I couldn't understand what do they what is EPDO?
Okay. It's question by Mr. Hitesh Parmar. So if he's there, maybe he can just reply and get to know. It's EPFO. It was the typo error.
Okay, EPFO. What? Can you please repeat the question?
Yes. Question.
So what is the question? If you can.
Yeah. Is
repeat.
there any official gadget released by Government of India about EPF?
It is there, no? On 30th October, there is a gazette published. If they want, we will share that notification. That's not a problem.
Okay. And the next question is, so what is if assignee leaves company and is employed elsewhere, where PF? can the employee withdraw the full amount?
No, there is no provision. You have to remain unemployed for a minimum period of 1 year to withdraw, to withdraw the 100% amount. So you can withdraw 75% after if you remain unemployed. The remaining 25% also, if you want to withdraw, then minimum you should remain unemployed for minimum 1 year. After 1 year only you can withdraw the full amount. As in the case of EPS, it is minimum 3 years.
Okay. Next question. Can foreign employees withdraw their full PF immediately after they
No,
are relieved from the obligation?
no, there is no provision till they attain the age of 58 years in case if it is a non-SSA country. If the country has not signed any social security agreement with India and the employees from that particular country, then he can withdraw the amount only upon attaining the age of 58 years. For SSA signed country, they can go for transfer. There is a provision available.
Okay.
Exportability.
Next question. Want to understand taxability in the event of employee retaining the amount funds after attaining the age of 16.
Sorry, can you repeat? Sorry, Shreya, can you please repeat? Can you please repeat the question? Hello? Hello? Huh? Hello? Shreya, can you
Yeah,
please
sorry.
repeat?
My network gone. Yeah.
Can you please repeat the question?
Yes, I'll repeat the question. Just a second. Just 1 second, sir.
No, please.
They have written that want to understand the taxability in the event of employee retaining the amount with the fund after attaining the age of 60 years.
No, you can see beyond 58 years if there is no contribution interest account. So for a minimum period of 3 years, it will earn interest. And whatever interest earned without any contribution, that will attract income tax. So beyond 3 years, no interest will be credited into his account, and there is no point in retaining that amount with the EPFO. You can retain it with the EPFO, but that will not earn any interest. If that is okay for the person concerned, he can keep the amount there.
Okay. The next question, is it mandatory to enroll in PMEY as an employer?
Correct, because if you want to avail benefit through this scheme, it is a separate scheme actually. Prime Minister Viksit Bharat Rozgar Yojana. It's a different scheme actually altogether. So definitely there is a window provided. You have to register there. As the employer would have already registered under the EPFO portal. In EPFO portal, there is a provision given to you if you are opting for that scheme. That needs to be registered.
Okay. The same, it was like if it is not mandatory, if you register under a scheme, then you need to create separate challan and return also.
No. You need not create a separate challan. This from through ECR only they will come to know what is the baseline, and above the baseline, have you increased the, because in ECR both addition will be there, deletion details will be there. So EPFO will have the tracking.
Okay. The next is the scheme applicable to all employees, irrespective of their employment status, including technicians, trainees, and others?
Correct. It is applicable to all the employees who are otherwise are eligible to be covered under PPF.
Yes. Then, if any employee get registered today with
You are off. There is some, I think there is a network issue, Shreya. I don't know whether it is from our end or from your end. I don't know. There is a network issue. I'm not able to hear you. Shreya, we couldn't hear you. There was some network issue.
hello. Now, okay.
Now it is okay.
Sorry.
Now it's okay.
Now
Okay.
it's audible. Okay. The next question was, if any employees get registered today, effective date of 1st August 25, can they claim any of the medical expenses for the month of
For ESI, you mean to say for ESI? Yes. If you
under
declare
ESIC
that,
scheme?
if you declare that the data coverage is 1st August 2025 today, you will be eligible for benefit, corresponding benefit. Definitely, yes. Provided you
So in
need to
the
remit
same
you
month
provide,
also.
provided you need to remit contribution from retrospective effect from the date of
Okay.
registration in this case.
Next question is there any way to manage legally 12 hours per day?
12 what? I couldn't get it. What is it? 12?
12 hours per day. Hour.
This is not pertaining to this EPFO, I think. If they are referring to working hours, 12 hours, then that goes by the respective state Shop and Establishment Act, in case if it is a shop and establishment, or if it is a factory, then you have to go as per the Factories Act, because the leave provisions are governed under the governing legislation of respective unit, whether it is a factory or shop and establishment. So you have to go by that. We can't give a generalized answer on that. By default, by and large, it will be, if it is an establishment, it is 8 hours or 9 hours in a day. And there will be an OT, overtime will be provided. Overtime permission is there, but again, there will be a quarterly cap. So those things and all they need to adhere to.
Okay. Then is there any notification issued for revised withdrawal rules?
Now, till date, they have not revised, they have only issued the press release.
Okay.
But
Regarding
in the press release itself, they have mentioned that it is effective from 13th October 2025, the revised withdrawal scheme. So, but formally, they have not issued any formal gazette notification.
Okay. Regarding ESI amnesty scheme, is this applicable for any 7Q or 14B notice pending foreclosure?
Correct. Yes. Now, 7Q 14B is under EPFO. If they are, I don't know how they are clubbing. 7Q 14B is for EPF. If they are referring to ESI, then it is section 45A. I couldn't, or the 85B. Which one they are referring to? I think they are clubbing both EPF as well as ESI. Let us not mix it up. But however, for both the PF as well as ESI, this amnesty scheme for the past liability is, yes, available. We lost you, Shreya. You're on mute, Shreya. You're on mute.
Sorry. Is this all PF advantage criteria is implemented in the EPFO system and claims are processed based on this rule?
That is what we are given to understand. But because since they have already notified and it is effective from, they say that it is effective from 30th October 2025. So in case there could be some procedural glitches that should be handled case by case.
Okay. Is it mandatory to register under LIC if the company having more than 10 employees, but all are having salaries more than 25,000?
Yes. In case you have more than 10 employees in an establishment, you are necessarily to be registered under ESIC. Whether all the employees are not have been exempted from ESIC, no problem. But still you need to go for coverage of the establishment. You have to register your establishment and start filing nil return every month.
Okay.
This is a
Next
common
question.
mistake many of the employees they commit.
Okay. The next question. If second level registration is done by employer for PVM KRY scheme post 31st August, from when they are applicable to get the benefit?
So that's what I told you, no, minimum 6 months, that in case that employee, they have added new employees above the baseline, and such employees are remain in employment for a period of minimum 6 months. Because I already told you, it is once in 6 months the benefit will be dispersed to the employers, so they will be eligible.
Okay.
Provided that
The
incremental
next,
strength should be there. Yeah, sorry.
okay, okay. Can 75% PF amount be withdrawable immediately?
Not immediately. So once you leave employment, immediately you can, they are asking, I think.
Yes, I
No,
guess.
no, yes, it is not, because now let us wait for the notification to come. For now, it is not very clear actually. They put the one that to withdraw the remaining 25% only. They have mentioned that minimum 1 year period is they are specified. For immediate withdrawal of 75%, I think nothing is very clear. Let us wait for the notification to come.
Okay. Next question. My organization has registered under PMVB but still reflects as bank authorization pending. I have visited EPFO office also in regards with the same, but there is no clarity given.
Now, if their bank account is others, I mean PAN linked, the establishment PAN is linked to that bank account. I think that should the banker should need to authorize actually. So in case there is a glitches, there can be procedural issues actually. Probably that they may have to approach the respective RPFC only, on which we cannot give any comment.
Yeah. Next question. If establishment already registered under EPFO, need to register under Suvarna portal again to avail
Not
the
necessary.
benefit for
Not necessary. Not necessary. Not it is.
our employee joined a company and left within 20 days. PR statement was prepared on 13th and the employee de-lined his UN employer before the payment is made. Now unable to remit to the employee, what measures can the employer make?
Now, ideally, when an employee joins your establishment, right on day one, you have to insert his UAN onto the PF account. So
Okay.
these are all, I think there is a procedural lapses that needs to be handled by themselves.
Is it possible to generate a freshly joined absconded employee other than Umang app?
You cannot. We cannot, because now that is to arrest that this kind of duplicity only. They have introduced this scheme. Actually, now it is a foolproof method. Using his face authentication technology only, the employee can generate UAN. There is no other option.
Okay.
But there is also an option in case there are establishments, they deducted amount from the employee and they could not generate UAN, and that accumulation is held in their account. And there was a circular from EPFO that those amount can be deposited with EPF account, EPFO. By giving a undertaking that the employer will take utmost effort to identify the employees, because ideally the employee's contribution should be credited into his PF account.
Okay.
So there is a circular
Then,
available,
yeah.
but whether the EPF, RPFCs, whether they consent to that or not, again, that is to be that is tested.
Okay. When is wage code about to release?
I don't know. It is nobody can speculate actually. Probably effective April, the government may implement, because by and large now all the state governments have framed rules, draft rules, except for West Bengal and a few states, 2-3 states. West Bengal, it is of course none of the rules have been framed, but other few states like 1 or 2 rules they are not framed. So it is only left with 4 or 5 states only maximum. So rest all the states they have framed rules, draft rules. So that means the states have also started cooperating with the central government. So let us, but keeping our fingers crossed, because we cannot speculate when the code will be implemented. Most likely, the expectation is probably from April.
Okay. Next is, if
One
any
second,
employee joined, yeah.
One second. Only few provisions. But it covers most of the provisions. Now it is a recent update actually. Just I have received from my colleague. Actually, today only it has come. 21st November, they issued a notification, and few provisions of the code, like section 1 to 41, code on wages. It has come into force from today, 21st November. Okay. Similarly, for all other codes also, it seems we are bringing a surprise to all the participants, because this is a hot news. Just it has come. The codes have come into force effective today, 21st November. For detailed, for all other details, probably we have to go through the entire notification. But for now, this is the hot news. Effective 21st November, the codes have come into force. You are on mute, Shreya.
Yeah. Take the next question, sir.
Please.
Yeah. If any employee on 17th of November and before that he was working in USA, can we consider international worker?
If he is for international worker, whether he is an Indian or foreigner, does he have a passport other than Indian passport? In that case, he will be considered as an domestic, international worker only. In case he possesses an Indian passport, then he will not be considered. So we need to see the case to case. If they provide all the details, probably we will be able to accept.
Understood. What is the minimum employment duration to withdraw 75% PF amount?
That's what I said. Actually, we need to wait for the notification to come because they are not explicitly prescribed that. For to withdraw the full amount, they have specifically mentioned, yes, minimum you should remain for unemployed for 1 year. For withdrawal of the 75%, they have not specified the exact timeline. Let us wait for the notification to come. We will circulate.
Okay. One more question related PF is that how much PF advance payment can be withdrawn?
That is what on case to case basis, if for certain cases they allow even 100% withdrawal. With the new scheme, EPF 3.0 scheme, they permit the employees to withdraw even the 100%, both the employee and employer share. That depends on the case, subjective.
Understood. So there is one person who has told a case where employee had to pay his PF amount till July 21st, as employee's last day was May 21. And now there is an issue. His new employer is not accepting this and the agency is not responding on the case.
Now,
What should be done?
let us avoid this case, this kind of issues, because it's all exceptional cases. Let them send it across to us, and we will see whether we can provide any solution to that effect.
Sure, sir. There is one. Employee joined on 22nd. Their attendance of second to 19th will fall under next attendance cycle. Therefore, the salary should be next month's payroll.
Correct.
Because
See,
they did
these are
not.
all procedural issues actually. For administrative reason, they change actually. Whereas as far as labor laws are concerned or social security relations are concerned, it is calendar month is considered. And day effective first day of the month to last day of the month should be treated as attendance cycle. And accordingly, the contribution also to be paid. Wages are to be paid, contributions are to be paid, that way only. So that is the reason the employees are allowed to contribute till 15th day of subsequent month. And the salary can be paid either on 7th or 10th based on the number of employees in their establishment. So it is not, they are not mandating you to pay the salary right on 31st or 30th. The employers are allowed to pay the salary till either 7th or 10th day of subsequent month. And you are expected to remit the contribution only before 15th of succeeding month. So initially there were when this digital penetration was not there, those time, yes, people had to maintain the attendance register manually. They had problems. Now with the introduction of digitalization, I think there should not be any problem. So they may have to find a way how to gather the attendance and how to run the process pay cycle. So it is always advisable to have the calendar month.
Okay. There is one question. How many employees are required in an organization to become eligible for EPF or registration?
I had already
Some
told 20.
branches.
In case you have 20 or more in an establishment. Establishment includes all the branches also. Assume that
So they're
in
asking
branch
whether if some.
in head office you have 5 employees and you have 3 different branches in which you have 5 each. So all put together 20 it comes. So head office plus all the 3 branches, okay, 20 employees. So still the EPF Act would be applicable. You can go for coverage. So that's why I said the establishment includes branches also.
So it will be a single registration, right?
Correct. Single registration.
For the company.
Yes.
If ESIC deduction applicable on production incentive and OT ex gratia
Yes.
amount.
Yes, production incentive, yes. Overtime, it is very clearly given how the incentive is being given. If any payment which happens beyond, within 2 successive months, then that will attract ESI. So if you are making it once in a quarter and if it is not in part of your terms of employment, then you can exclude. Otherwise, it would attract ESI contribution.
There is one question where the person is saying, I would like to know that a contractor has hired around 3 members initially. There was an issue with Aadhaar for registering UN. Meanwhile, the workers worked for a week and left. Do we have any process to pay PF amount to registered employee? Yes.
That's what I was telling actually. When an employee joins your establishment, either by your core employee or through the contractor, please do ensure that he has a valid UAN. In case he is already not registered, then you should have a valid Aadhaar. Register him under both EPF, ESI if it is applicable. Then you allow him to work. So after allowing him to work for beyond 7 days, and if you come out and say that no, you could not register him because of other issue, no authority will accept that.
Okay. Next is, we are a company with approximately 90 employees and we are rarely hire candidates with a salary of 1 lakh per month. In this case, is it mandatory for us to hire 5 employees under the PM PBRY scheme?
If you want to avail benefit through this, if you want to avail benefit from this scheme, and in case you hire employees drawing wages less than 1 lakh, then you can go for opt for this scheme. In case you do not want to, you want to hire employees with a salary of more than 1 lakh, and you do not want to avail this benefit, definitely no. This option is yours.
Okay. I don't know if this is a question. They have just said that regarding redepositing funds to EPFO.
There is no provision now. Earlier it was there. For exempted establishment, still they collect actually. Unexempted establishment, there is no provision to repay the amount.
Okay. For an employee PF contribution amount.
What is that? On the salary.
Right.
See, for domestic workers, for domestic employees, it is, you can restrict the contribution up to the maximum wage ceiling of 15,000, which is not the case for international worker. On the entire wages, on the entire PF wages, the PF is to be deducted in respect of international workers.
Okay. Next question. In one of my case where employee had paid his PF amount till July 21st and employee's last day was May 21st. I think we have answered this question, sir.
Yeah, we have already responded.
Is it allowed for an organization to give different EPF contribution percentage such as 40% or 45 to selected employees, or must the EPF contribution remain same standard percentage for all the employees?
No. I think when they are referring to different rate of contribution, I think they are referring to VPF, Voluntary Provident Fund. See, obligation is only 12% on the PF wages. Anything over and above, if the employee wants to contribute. So you can contribute up to the 100% of the wage ceiling. That is, in case the PF, the employer has an option. What is his PF wages? Whether is he restricted to PF 15,000 or actual wages? In case he has opted to restrict his PF contribution on the maximum wage ceiling of 15,000, then employee cannot contribute beyond 15,000 towards PF account. That is very simple. So 12% on 15,000 comes to 1,800 rupees. So if in case he wants to increase the rate of contribution, he can go for 20%, 25%, 30%, or up to 100% contribution he can make. There is no obligation for the employer to give a matching contribution on that. So I think we are referring to, if they are referring to this 40%, 30% and all, they are referring to the voluntary provident fund. I think voluntary provident fund only employee can contribute.
Yes, sir. Does the employer need to file exit whenever a casual employee joins or leaves the establishment?
Correct. As and when there is an employee is not on the ECR, then you have to update the exit date.
Okay. If a company have more than 5 branches in each state with 50 employees and 20 in Andhra Pradesh, 5 in Telangana, etc., what precautions should we take for EF and ESIC?
No, that is your choice actually. How are you going to contribute? How are you going to maintain? If you have a centralized code, say an establishment which has a head office either in Chennai, say take for example Chennai, and it has branches in Telangana, it has branches in Mumbai, Bangalore, but all their payroll is being processed centrally at the head office. And you can remit a contribution also in Chennai. Absolutely, there is no issue. In case you want to have a subcode branch wise, for that also there is a provision available. In case they want to compartmentalize as per the branch wise, then they have to go for a subcode and remit the contribution.
Okay. Sir, PM-RVP scheme, can we get monthly report on the list of employee eligibility for the incentive?
That will be, I think you will be able to see actually. Practically, I have not seen. Maybe this being the first month, we need to check actually. Practically, I have not seen. I also have the only book knowledge. We'll have to go through the procedure. Maybe once it is implemented after the crossing the November month, probably we'll be able to come to know.
Okay. Next is some PSUs provide loan on PF. Can this be given to private companies as well?
I couldn't understand. EPFO providing loan is
No, they're
different.
saying that no, PSUs provide loan on PF is what they're saying. So
Okay.
can private companies also provide a loan on PF?
That is up to the company to decide actually, on which how can I comment? The respective company has to decide.
Okay. If a person is registered with ESIC now, then he claim immediately.
Which claim? See, there are conditions are there. Minimum in case for medical benefit, yes, he can get right from day one onwards. Not only for him, for his dependent also, in case he wants to avail medical benefit, medical care from the ESI hospital, then right from day one onwards he can avail. In case he wants to get cash benefit, then the minimum periods are specified. So now here in this case, I think 78 days, minimum 78 days, the employee should have contributed, then only will be eligible for cash benefits. For maternity benefit, then again it's all it varies from for disablement 126 days contribution, then 256 days contribution is there for some other benefit. So let us take it this way that for medical care and funeral benefit, there is no specific timeline. Right from day one onwards, you will be getting. In case for if you want to have a cash benefit, for which again there are certain periods, qualifying period is mentioned in the act.
Okay. There are few more questions we can take now, everyone. So Any timeline to register under PMVBY last date?
PMVBRY. I think we have given, no? There is no timeline actually. 2 years, initially it was given as for 2 years, no? In the slide itself, I have shown it is 2 years. Within the period, you have to avail.
Understood. Next question. As per a fixed salary, employee covered under ESIC, but he is getting additional incentive per month, varying from 5,000 to 20,000, and ESIC is paid the incentive too. So what could be the repercussions?
See, if it is being paid every month regularly, then there is a possibility that the employee ESIC can reject the claim since his wage is exceeding 21,000 per month.
Okay.
So that is to be explained to the authority concerned that yes, this is sometimes that employee may not receive the incentive. So that needs to be substantiated, and if the response is found to be satisfactory, they may entertain the claim, otherwise not. That is again subjective, purely subjective, on which.
Okay. Is PF applicable on entertainment and special allowance paid to some of the employees?
No, special allowance for any special mere nomenclature will not suffice the requirement. Actually, in case the special allowance is being paid for some specific purpose, and if it doesn't fall under the UNO, universally, necessarily, and ordinarily paid, in that case, if it is not an UNO payment, then that will get excluded. Otherwise, the special allowance for nowadays it is special allowances being the normally they treat as a filler component. So EPF also considers that as a basic salary.
Okay.
On which PF is to be deducted. We will take
Understood,
1 or 2
sir.
questions, few more. I think
Yeah,
we
just
have
two
already
more
exceeded.
questions.
Yeah.
Yes. And others, maybe we can answer it on the mail.
Mail, yes. You can collect and send it across,
Yeah.
we'll respond. We can take last 2 questions, please. We are not able to get you. You are off, Shreya. I think there is a network issue. Shreya, we lost you in between.
Yeah. Now am I audible, sir?
Yeah.
Okay. So just two more questions I am taking. Last two questions. In one case, a contract employee has lost his palm in an incident during employment. He has EPF subscription for only 2 months. Is he eligible for any compensation or pension under permanent disability?
Only 2 months he has contributed. I think because beyond 6 months, minimum 6 months contribution is essential. But we need to check actually. Let them share these details. We will respond subsequently.
Sure, sir. And one last question I'm taking. Can project or region-wise PF monthly return be filled under latest modifications?
If for a single code, if it is a single, is it a single code or they have
No, they
branch-wise
haven't
codes?
mentioned.
If they have a branch, if they have a different code for their branches, they can make such remittances. Otherwise, I think it is not possible. This also will come back. We'll get back to them.
There are many other questions, but we'll handle all the questions on email.
Yeah.
And we'll address them separately.
Sure.
So thank you so much, sir.
Thank you.
And it was a very thought-provoking session.
Thank you so much. Thanks to all the
Thank you,
participants
everyone.
for their passion listening.
Thank you.